that we're going to record this. Good morning. Send out some last minute reminders. I know that it's really hard for people to get on time. If I can put mascara on my last eyelash while running into the office and grabbing a piece of paper and a water off of my printer and out of my fridge in the last 32 seconds that I have, we can all get here on time. My dad always had this saying, if you're not early, you're late. And I won't say that I'm perfect by any means. I definitely can run late to things, right, Kristen Scott? Like lunch meetings. Sometimes things are out of our control. However, if we could all really start making a habit of trying to get on here by 8:25, listening to the music, there's some of you that are really good about doing that. All you have to do is log in and listen to some tunes. And if we start that, it duplicates to your team too. So I hope you sent out reminders and told them, hey, it's Monday morning. It's time to get the jumper cables put on not only your health and wellness, but your business, right? I was thinking about this morning on what I really wanted to talk about, and we have a lot of new people on board, and which is like the most exciting when we have like a really momentous time and we have a lot of new people jumping on. It's always way more exciting to work our business than when it's kind of like meh, meh, day in, day out. Those are the hard times when you have to dig in because it's not necessarily as exciting. And we all go through different momentous times in our business. Now that our company is almost 10 years old, that initial momentum that was in the first few years where it was like we didn't really learn how to do network marketing. We just kind of like learned how to throw people, throw kits in and throw customers in, and we didn't really have to sell much. I just want to like give you guys a little heads up that if you're brand new or you're newer and you weren't with us during that time, just be grateful. While it was fun, it didn't last, and we didn't teach people how to do network marketing the right way. So then you're actually more frustrated than if we come in and we do it the right way the first time and we build it strong and sturdy and like a brick house. And that's what we're doing now. So everybody's going to go through different momentous times in their business because it's not all at one time, right? There's people who are going to dig in and like really run hard and fast. And I'm going to urge you guys this morning to put your blinders on a little bit when that's happening, because what you don't want it to do is get you down, right? Because you're watching somebody else. Trust me, if you don't think I have other people to watch like you guys do, I do. And it's part of what motivates me. Like, it's why I'm interviewing two other 200K millionaires in the business the next 2 Wednesday nights, which, shameless plug, please make sure your teams are on those. I want to give a much respect to the people who do not have anything to do with our team. They're going to pour into our team, and we need to make sure we all show up for that. So if you could please make sure that everybody clears their calendar for the next 2 Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. So that we can have some other leaders pour into us. Anyways, told you I'm thriving. I'm a little all over the place this morning, and that's okay, because I swear it'll still be effective. So we're all going to go through different momentous times, and I don't want you to get discouraged by someone else going through a momentous time on their team and with bringing people on, and maybe you aren't. We all have different skill sets, and we have different times of learning, and we have different things going on in our lives too. And we all have different lessons we need to learn before we can earn the bigger bucks. Okay. So I just want you to kind of worry about your own journey. It's really nice to be able to look to other people and see what they're doing in their business so you can get ideas and know that it's possible, right? So that's the best thing about watching somebody else that's in momentum, is it's possible, because if it wasn't, they wouldn't be doing it. And I can tell you really quick a story about when we went on, it was my second or third trip with Lavelle, and we went to Vegas, and Haas and Sydney had qualified for their first lifestyle getaway, and we got to Vegas. And one of the biggest takeaways, I will say the biggest takeaway, I think, for Haas was he looked around at, it was a Where's Waldo party, you guys. Like, we had in Vegas, all of these thrivers, thousands of thrivers running around in different Where's Waldo costumes. It's probably one of the most fun lifestyle getaway parties I've ever been to, because all the other people in Vegas watching us were like, what the farkle? I will actually put a picture of Ken and I in our team chat after this, so you can see us in our glorious Where's Waldo. I don't even know if I could get my husband to do that costume these days. Anyways, so one of his biggest takeaways from that event was looking around and saying, if they can do it, I can do it. And that is not meant in any nasty way, shape, or form. But he looked around at the crowd of people and was like, if they can reach the top rank of the company, I can totally reach the top rank of the company. So you definitely want to watch what's going on around you, because some people are showing you what's possible. And so I really took a reflection away from Thriveapalooza going, I've been stuck in my own head a little bit with my own demons and my own things going on that's slowing me down. But going to convention for me was a breath of fresh air this year, more so than any other year, I think, because there's people that came in at the same time as me and are still absolutely dominating and crushing this. And that just gave me more fire under my butt, because if someone else can do it, I know that I am perfectly capable of doing the exact same darn thing, if not better. That's my confidence level. Okay. Not everybody's got that confidence level yet. And that's okay. That's why we're here every Monday morning, so that we can breathe into you. But I wanted to say that this morning, because I know that there's some that are getting distracted with other people's success, and we don't want to do that. Okay. So side note, obviously not what the topic is this morning, but felt like sharing that with you guys. Let me slow this down for just a second, and then I'll speed it back up again. Can you guys stop for un momento? I did this while I was on my treadmill this morning, and I want you to set just one affirmation for today. Like maybe that's, I am going to find my very best recruit today. I am going to help the next person who absolutely needs Thrive in their life get started on Thrive today. I am going to help my team strategize the very best plan for the rest of this month. I don't care what the affirmation is. I just want you to stop right now. I want you to say it out loud, obviously on mute, because that would be chaotic. And then maybe write it down. And I know that we do I am statements every day, but I want you to just pick one that is your like absolute today. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pause for a second and do that. And then I'm going to get started on confused people do nothing. This is a Sydney Slayman saying. And it is so confusing when I see Sydney, but my picture, I'm like, where is Sydney this morning? Oh yeah, there she is. It's the other me. We actually look pretty identical today, wouldn't you guys say? I mean, the hair is about the same. It's just not blowing in the wind, but we're looking pretty identical. We both have plaid on. The hair is about the same length. That one had extensions in. Just giving you guys a minute to do your affirmation while you poke fun at me. Okay. So confused people do nothing. And I thought about this morning because we have a lot of new people on board right now. And I know that when you get started in this business, it's like a fire hose of not only information, but expediency needed, right? Like very serious about the first 14 days. As much as that seems like a lot of time, it's a half of a month, it's 2 whole weeks, it's 14 whole days. It goes by super fast when you're not paying attention to it. I will say, if you are effectively using your time every single day in that 14 days, it doesn't zip by you too fast. But if you're not, and you don't start in Susie Bot till like day 4, or you don't start getting in your cloud office and sending those samples out that you got with your $400 or $800 kit, if you don't start reaching out to people and having conversations about who's going to be your first Thrivers, and it's day 5 or 6, that 14 days is going to be over the next day. It literally will go by that fast. But I also know that when people first come in, there's so much information that they stall out sometimes. And so I'm trying as a leader and as a sponsor of people to start doing a much better job of not slowing things down, because you can't slow things down in the first 14 days. I will apologize for how fast that is and how much of a fire hose that is. But I also am going to be more effective about keeping up with those newest people and making sure they do the things they need to do. Hence why I did the training that I did on Saturday. And I said I wasn't going to record it for consumption. I was recording it for internal purposes. But I had so many people reach out to me that, number one, were on it and said how effective that training was. They had never seen a training like that before, and they were super grateful they were on it. Also, that they have some new people on board and they were not able to attend because they're brand new and they already had plans. And so I thought, all right, I don't want to get into the habit of telling you guys that I'm not going to record something and then giving it out, but I do know that that training was effective, or I wouldn't have gotten so many messages. So I did put it into recorded format last night, and it's on our YouTube channel. I shared the link in our chat. If you need that and didn't see it fly by you, just go in the chat and ask somebody to repost it. It is really effective. It is 1 hour, and it is all the things that new people need to focus on and concentrate on right away, like right away, so that we make certain we've given them every opportunity to hit that VIP 800, VIP 1600 in their first 14 days. So I knew it was a good tool, and I thought, oof, I personally have some brand new promoters on right now that need that, and more coming on today. And I'm like, I can't just keep that under lock and key. That was a good training. I'm really glad I did end up recording it. So, because I like to record things just so I can review them and make sure I'm effective too, you guys. Like, there's a reason why I record things, and I don't always publish all of them, but I record them so I can review them later and see what works, what didn't work. Okay. So confused people do nothing. What does that mean exactly? Well, when we're giving people a fire hose of information and then we set it and forget it. This is another saying. I don't remember who did it at one of our SEAL trainings years ago, was you're not a crock pot. They're not a crock pot. You can't set them and forget them. Speaking of crock pots, I'm making spaghetti today in the crock pot so I can set it and forget it and work on my business. So that's what I do. As much as I can crockpot things, I crockpot things, because it's all about time management. We're going to talk a little bit about that today too, before I run out of time. So if we fire hose all of our brand new promoters with all of these things, and they get confused on the process or what they're supposed to focus on, they're not going to do anything, because what we do is give them this wealth of information and what they need to do, but we've given them 20 things, and then they're like, oh, which one do I do first? So it's why I preach our Susie bot so much, because that first 14 days is spread out in bite-sized chunks. It's been, sure, I was there 2 years ago. I know. And I will equate it to this, and I'll go back to Susie bot in just a second. If you were starting a new job today, it's Monday morning, if you were starting a new job with a new company today and you were going through training, do you think you'd be overwhelmed? Yeah. If you were given a new sales quota this morning, Kristen Scott, by what you do as a sales marketing manager, if you were given an entirely new territory with a new product you had to sell, would you be overwhelmed today? Yeah. If you were going to take on learning a new hobby, for whatever reason, would you be a little overwhelmed today? If you committed to yourself that you were going to start learning a new language today, and you were giving yourself like 2 months to, master the basics, would you be a little overwhelmed today because you're fitting it in with a bunch of other things? Yes. Anything that is going to have a greater impact or greater outcome on your life that you have to jump into is going to be overwhelming. We just have to decide that overwhelm in the long run is worth it. Now, think back to your last new job that you started, last new hobby that you mastered, last new whatever that was going to take some time, effort, and energy to deploy. Were you overwhelmed on the first day, the second day, the third day, the first couple of weeks, the first 30 days? More than likely, yes. If you weren't, then it probably did not impact or greatly change your life. Because nothing great like that comes without some hesitancy, some scared, some unsureness, some fear. So we are going to be overwhelmed. Our newest people, just remember, every time we bring on a new person or someone on our team brings on a new person, remember that newest person is scared. Like your first day on your job, the last job that you started where you had no idea what you were doing. They are in that spot. And so we have to hold their hands just a little bit. We have to reassure them that in 2 weeks' time, this is a crash course to excessive wealth. It is. It is a crash course to their financial future. It is worth being overwhelmed and completely confused for 14 days to get a crash course in how you could change the trajectory of your family's financial future. It's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to be confused. What's not okay is to stall out and freeze because of that. So what can we do as the leaders or as the sponsors of those people? reassure them every single day, give them a plan every single day. And that's what Susie Bot does, right? But let's not just leave it up to Susie Bot. Like I had some brand new people. There's a promoter I brought on yesterday afternoon and I haven't even announced her yet. I'm going to be doing that shortly because I thought announcing a new promoter on Easter is just maybe not a good idea. I don't know. I just did it. But I woke up this first thing this morning and I brought on 2 promoters in the last few days personally, and then 2 others that just really got started with teams that are expanding. So I started dropping them the VIP 800, 1600 worksheet. How often do you do that with your new people? We've got Susie the Bot and we talk about it, but how often do you drop them the VIP worksheet and go, let's get to basics. I need you to fill this out today. So I dropped that. I went to the Team Hustle page. It's in the guides. I went and grabbed the VIP 800, 1600 worksheet, and I dropped it into like 4 or 5 people's messenger this morning and said, hey, let's just work on this today. I need you to fill out some names on this sheet. We want to figure out how you're getting to your VIP 800, 1600, because I know you want those bonuses. And that's going to be our path to hitting 4K by the end of this month and grabbing the extra bonus. But I need to know who you're going to contact, because then I can best help you. We can create some promos. We can create some time sensitive things, but I need to know who you're putting on this sheet, right? So bite-sized chunks, they're in Susie the Bot, they're learning, they're getting through those videos, but let's take it a step. Let's take a step back and have them put the names down. It's how I started this business. You guys, we don't even really do them anymore. We used to have these brochures and they had the VIP worksheet on them. Some of you guys might have them still. They used to be available in the gear store and I don't even know if they're available anymore because everything's so digital now. But I used to take those because I used to meet with people in person as much as I possibly could at that time. So I'd go to Panera or wherever I was going to meet my newest promoter or my promoter's newest promoter and have a meeting with them. And we would sit down with that brochure and we'd have them fill it out. Because once they in their mind got, oh, this is what I need to do. This is the most important things. Knowing what to post on social media was not even a thing. It was not even a thing. It was, who are you going to go talk to? So much overwhelm, so much confusion on the social media aspect will make them do nothing. And the only thing they should be concentrating on is, what 8 names are we putting on that PDF? What 8 names are we putting on the worksheet? Because those are the people we need to go talk to first. And then once they get 8 names down to 4 customers, 4 promoters, let's have them put backups and then backups to the backups, because not every one of those 8 people are just going to say, yes, let's do this. And even if they do, it might be after the 14 days. So we need some backups on there, right? So those are the basics, and that's how to underwhelm your people. Just make it easy for them. Let's have them fill that out. Okay. And it's always accessible. Thank you for dropping that in there, Kristen. But it is always accessible in the guides in your team page. And Team Hustle, under the guides, that worksheet is in there. You can literally click on it and you can send it in a message to somebody immediately because it's a PDF. Okay. I have notes on here. I want to make sure I hit everything, and I've only got 10 minutes left. So we all have so much going on all of the time, right? And I want people to be able to fit this in the cracks of their day, but I also want people to scale this as what importance this is in their life. So if you can take just a minute and write this down, I want you to scale your life right now in order. Like, what are the order of importance of these things? And I'm not asking you to share it. It really, I mean, only you can know what is the most important to you. And it really doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter to me. It matters to me. All of you guys matter to me and what you want in your life. But I want you to scale these things. What comes first, second, third, fourth, fifth? Family time, spiritual. If somebody wants to type these in the chat, it might be easier. So I can go faster. Job, your stupid job, not your Lavelle job. Okay. Hobbies, and your financial future / side hustle. So family time, spiritual, job, hobbies, financial future / side hustle. And when I say order of importance, I mean like time-wise, like what you want to spend the most time on, what you can spend the most time on, what you are spending the most time on. What's the order of importance on those for you? Now, I find all of these things to be really, really important. It is hard to scale these. It is so hard to, because who actually wants to admit that their their side hustle, their financial future is more important than family time right now. Our brains don't want to guilt ourselves like that. So we immediately put family time down before we put down the side hustle. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. If that is your most important thing right now, it should absolutely be number one. What I can tell you, and I'll just give a short snippet on this, is that spending time on your financial future and your side hustle, if you're using your time effectively and not pissing away your time, is okay to be more important because it's going to give you more family time down the road. Does that make sense? I'm not asking you to ignore your family and not take care of your kids and not spend time going to Johnny's Sports. I'm not. What I am saying, though, is the more time you spend on your financial future and your side hustle, it will give you more time to go to all of those things. And sometimes that has to come first. Sometimes it just does. There's going to be seasons in your life where Johnny's going to have to be told, I can't make it to every game. Because guess what? Mom has goals too. Dad has goals too. And I'm doing this so that we can do X, Y, and Z. So if Johnny, you get really good at your sport, or Sally, you get really good at your craft, Mom, Dad will have more time, effort, and energy to pour into you. But splitting all of this up is shorting you, and it's shorting my side hustle. It's shorting the ability for me to get to where I'm trying to go with this. So I want you to scale your life in those categories and put some thought into that today. Where is it most important for you to put your time, effort, and energy into? So there's no confusion anymore. There's no confusion about when you wake up in the morning, what needs to get done first. I also want you to write down what time do you get up each day? If some people could put in the chat, what time do you wake up each day? And Kristen Scott, you don't count because I think that you don't sleep, but whatever. What time do you guys wake up each day? And don't lie to us. If you set your alarm for 5 and you don't actually get out of your bed till 7, I'm not talking about you, Shar, I'm just saying, then don't lie. I had to have this conversation with my husband the other day. He's like, oh, I get up at 6. I'm like, the hell you do? Your alarm goes off at 6:15 and you don't roll out of that bed till 7:15. I know. Okay. Because for a long period of time there, I was just doing it with you. I was right next to you. Okay. So I want you to think about that scale that you have of the order of importance of your life and the things that you do. Can you get up an hour earlier? If you cannot, because you're already getting up super early, this is not for you. But can you get up an hour earlier? An hour earlier so you can get some exercise in, because I'm telling you what, the exercise first thing in the morning will totally change the trajectory of your day. 100%. You will never prove me wrong on that. Never. It will totally change the trajectory of every single day for you. In 30 minutes of income producing activities specifically spent on your business, where you shut all other notifications off on your phone. If you can get up an hour earlier and do those two things, I'm telling you, the confusion of your day will drastically reduce. The confusion and the order of importance of things in your life will be on point. But sometimes we're making choices about the way we spend our time that are making more confusion in our life for ourselves. And we need to set an example. We need to set an example for our team and for those. If people can't get in touch with you, if your team can't get in touch with you until after 9 o'clock in the morning and you're on a run, I'm not talking about if you're doing this part-time, that's your hobby. I'm talking about if you're on a run and your team can't get in touch with you until after 9 a.m., there's a problem there. If you guys know me, my messages start slinging at 6 a.m. I hope you have notifications muted because I'm on a mission. Okay. And it's how we use our time effectively to create less confusion for our life, for ourselves, for our business, and for our team. Do you work off of a to-do list each day? Do you structure your day with a to-do list? If you don't, I highly recommend you start doing it today. I will not lecture you on this. I will just tell you that having something that you can physically check off, I'm not talking mental, I'm talking physically check off every single day. There's a note section on your phone you can check off. You can print the notes right from your phone and check off that to-do list all day long. Make sure you know where you're going and what you're doing each day. If you don't do that already, highly recommend doing it. It will create less confusion for you all day long because you'll know exactly. That's why we have the IPA checklist. Okay. Last but not least, I want you to pick a path and stick to it for the next 30 days and let's see how it works. This is on almost a totally different subject, but it's not. It is about creating less confusion for you, your team, and your business. There are a multitude of different ways to do this business. And I talked a little bit about this on a Zoom last week, but I wanted to hit on it again because I'm seeing a lot of it. There's a couple people I follow in our company. They're on different teams that do things 100% attraction marketing. I have really thought long and hard about this lately because it's been bugging me. Like, I don't understand how they can go on Instagram and they don't do any cold messaging and they're just attracting all of these great people and they're growing like wildfire. So I really have been doing so much thinking about it because I'm watching certain people on our team watch those people and just completely stall out in their business because they think that that's the way to success because they're not seeing all the other hard work that's going on behind the scenes. So there's also people who come on this, especially brand new people, unless you guys are recruiting people off that Instagram channel or TikTok channel that are already social media gurus and know how to do reels and lives and all of that stuff, you're going to harm them because most people can't do that. But you know what most people can do? Message people. Most people we can give a script to and they can send messages. They don't need to learn a new tool. They don't need to learn what to say. They don't need to learn third-party validation because they aren't the third party yet. They can use you. But how in attraction marketing do you start a new person that is not, I'm not talking about a person that might come on board that knows how to do all those things already, but I haven't really seen anybody on this team recruit somebody like that. So that's great if you are a guru on that platform and that's who you're recruiting. But if your audience is not that person, we've got to pick a path and stick to it for the next 30 days. And I want you to see how that works for you and your team. Reels are great. Lives are great. Absolutely. I am not telling you not to do those. I'm going to keep doing them every single day because I'm trying to mix over my business into that realm too. But I'm also doing the messaging. I am also cold messaging, you guys. I have no problem with cold messaging. I have no problem with messaging in general because that is your path, the fastest path to grabbing a new person or a new promoter is having communication with them. It is, I'm sorry, not reels. I've tested the theory. I do 1 to 2 reels every single day. I have yet to bring someone on from that. And maybe I'm not doing it the right way. I don't know. But I do know that I'm pretty skilled and pretty technology savvy. And if it was as easy as just making reels and posting them and that would bring people on, then it would already be happening for me because I've been doing this for months. So it is absolutely a tool we need to do. I'm trying to grow my network with that. And that is it. I am not relying on that for my recruiting. I am relying on the skill set that is I already have and I already know and that anyone can do when they come in. Because I want them to duplicate what anyone can do because we're going to bring in anyone. So when we talk about confused people do nothing, if we are trying to push them to do reels, to do lives, to do the graphics, to do all of the things, and we're not having them just focusing on contacting people, which is what network marketing is built on and will always be built on. You know what has changed? All of the different technology. Since I've been with this company in 7 years, and I can even take the 2.5 years prior to that in another company, the way we have done business, I will tell you, has gone like this. All these tools come in and out of the business, in and out of the business. But you know what has never, ever changed? The fact that I have to pick up my phone and either call someone or message someone, and that is not confusing. That is not confusing. Reels are, lives are scary. Canva graphics are super hard. Creating the most amazing stories hard. Learning how to do all those things, very time consuming and scary for the newest person. While it might be kind of scary to reach out to people, it's effective and you can help them with that very easily. And it's fast and there's no skill that needs to be learned because we have all the scripts. I hope that makes a lot of sense to you guys. And I want to make sure that we are picking a path. If you are not an expert at the social media bells, whistles, and tools, why don't we go back to the basics and start messaging people while we spend a little bit of time on still mastering that other craft? I don't put a ton of time into my reels or my lives yes and no. Those are easy for me. And I am recruiting through lives. So the things where I'm seeing a ROI, return on my investment of time, I am continuing doing. The reels and all the TikToks and all that, I do know that they work. I know that they've worked for a lot of people, but I'm just growing my network with those right now until I figure out how to flip that switch. But I will say, I will leave you with this too. If you decide that that is your path to success, because it might be Sydney's, she's really good at it. And if what she's trying to recruit into her business right now is a bunch more people like her that are really good already with reels and TikToks and all that stuff, great. But I'm going to tell you one thing Sydney's still going to have to do. She's going to have to message those people. And what I think that people are missing in that is they think that they can post all of those reels and TikToks, and it's just like posting and praying. People aren't just going to fall into your lap. And even if they do message you, there's follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up and getting samples into their hands and talking about our product and talking about our business opportunity. These people who are bringing on massive amounts of people from Instagram and from TikToks and reels, there's other work going on you're not seeing besides the TikTok or the reel. I promise. So what I want you to do so that there's less confusion in your business each day and less confusion for the newest promoters coming on your team, is kind of pick a path just for the next 30 days and decide how you're going to do your business, and then go all in on that. And don't be all over the map, because your newest person needs you to be very focused on what they're supposed to be doing. So you need to be really focused on what you are supposed to be doing. And I will tell you that TikToks and reels could be a flash in the pan. I can never say that they will be. I'm just saying that they weren't here and we built $1 million people in network marketing 10 years ago. And just because they're around now, which I definitely think we need to grab a hold of, don't mix my message up, they could be gone and another tool could come to surface in the next year, 2 years. There could be the next biggest TikTok on a totally different realm, launch on a totally different platform in the next year that also can skyrocket people's businesses, creating a bit more confusion. But the one solid thing that remains the same all the time is picking up the phone and talking to a human being, whether it's on a message, a voice clip, or picking up the phone and actually talking to them. Having meetings in person works. Meeting somebody at Panera works. It still works. It will always work. It'll never stop working. It'll never stop working. TikTok could go away. Reels could go away. That technology can always change, but human to human contact will never change in this business. Never. So I want you to really think about what your path is going to be. Let's stick to that for the next 30 days and let's go absolutely crush this week. I hope this was effective for you this morning. Let's try to create less confusion for our teams. Let's get back to the basics and let's run like there is hair on fire on top of your head. Okay. Love you guys. See you later.